All right. We got our countdown chatter going on, and I got a bone to pick with Stoner.
Oh, sure.
Who's anti-snow.
Oh, yeah, he is.
What in the heck is this?
Yeah, I want to hear about this too, bro.
I'd like a show of hands. Who all is anti-snow?
One.
Trev, come on.
Just the one.
All that
Snow's
talk yesterday, last week, I said, I'm with you, Trev. And now all of a sudden you're just not on my you're just not with me. You're just gonna ban me like that.
Yeah, because my whole Twitter feed the past week and a half has been like, "Where's the snow? Bring on the snow."
Snow is wonderful, man.
I want snow. I mean, it's January.
Snow is life.
We're not winter. In Florida. We're in Virginia and Maryland. We're supposed to have snow during winter, Stoner.
All right.
Did you go out in it today?
You posted?
Did you get? We supposed to have some snow. Did you go out in it today?
I mean, I shoveled. Ooh, that was really exciting. That was a lot of fun.
See, that's your fault. Okay, snow is enjoyable. Go out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know what I did? First thing I did is I go out there. I go out there with my 8-year-old son. We did a snow angel. We threw some snowballs. We played in the snow. Then I did the shoveling. Then I played with the kids. We did some sledding. Then I did some more shoveling. Then I helped out the neighbors. And then I found out that some of our neighbors had snow removal machines, and I was a little upset that I had to shovel my drive and somebody else's drive.
Look in the chat. What is everybody saying in the chat? They're all with me. Snow sucks.
Saying, "Hey, what's up? Hail to the Washington football team." Everyone else is going to get ignored. Kimba Wynn and Katie. I'm gonna ignore those two comments. Snow is the best.
I love snow.
Snow is great.
I eat the snow.
Snow is football weather. I mean, you want snow. Snow is great. All right. Well, we're not going to be talking weather coming up here on Day After Reckoning. We're going to be talking Washington football team against the Philadelphia Eagles right here on Ref the District.
Thomas is in. Touchdown, Washington. Lofting one. He's got a man. It's McLaurin in stride. Touchdown, Washington. Has it back. Chase Young. They're chasing him down the sideline. And Chase Young has a Washington touchdown.
And he does he's just like, come on. That makes me laugh every time.
That deserves a wow.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Day After Reckoning here on Ref the District. I'm Nathan Perry. With me, as always, my co-host. We got Trevor.
Yeah, I'm just really here so I won't get fined.
And we got Stoner as well.
Hail to the Washington football team.
Of course, we stream this live every Monday or every day after Washington plays, which is most often Monday, except for the last time they played Philadelphia, which, of course, happened on a weird Wednesday. But we stream this on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter accounts at 7 p.m., and then we'll post this to our audio platforms. We are sponsored by the Sky Bar. Check them out, opening up soon there in Lexington, Virginia, where the manager, I hear he's a pretty good-looking dude, and he can help you out and give you some good sports knowledge. That's our man Trevor down there in Lexington, Virginia. We're also sponsored by Pacers Running. For every run, they've got you taken care of. You got a New Year's resolution to lose some weight or get physically fit, I'm telling you, you're going to want to head out to their website or one of their 6 stores in Northern Virginia or D.C., and they will take care of you, get you in the right pair of shoes to make sure that your physical fitness needs are met. Of course, we're also sponsored and supported by you, so we appreciate you jumping on. Make sure you go out to our YouTube page and subscribe. We want to shout out to those who are already in the chat right now, even if they aren't necessarily pro-snow. We still love them in there. We got Shady Katie.
Why is she here? Why?
My buddy Kim, P-Dub in the house. EP is there as well. I won't ignore the Fiesta Potato this time there, Katie. And Mama Stores in the house.
What up, Mom?
Redskins Weekly, what's up? And then Mama Perry as well. Love to see everyone in the chat with us. This game was a tale of two halves. Washington looked really good. in that first half. Let's talk about that half first, because I know we're going to have a guest coming on later who's going to talk about the Philadelphia side, which really came in that second half. So let's talk about this first half here. What went right for Washington?
You're going to let me go first there, Trev?
Yeah.
Wow, it's kind of hard for me to get a full grasp on the game because I was unable to watch it. I was there with you guys in the live stream, the watch party, and you guys were explaining it to me. But just from what you were explaining and then looking at all the stats, I think Washington had the ball 3 times in the first half. Or 4 times in the first half, sorry. And they had 3 field goals and a touchdown. So offensively, they were extremely efficient. They held the Eagles to only 1 touchdown. So they did everything that they were supposed to do right. And they weren't getting lucky like they did in the first half of the first game against Philadelphia. They were driving the ball all the way down the field. They were making plays. Taylor Heinike was efficient. Nobody was turning the ball over. And they were doing exactly what this team has to do to win based on their lack of talent at this point in the season. So the first half was perfect. What was the score at halftime? 16-7? Is that right? Help me out there.
I think so.
It was 16-7.
Washington was up. It was they had their 16 because they went scoreless in the second half.
Yeah, I think it was 16-7 at halftime. Right, Trev? I mean, they did basically everything that they were supposed to do.
Oh, yeah, you're exactly right. Taylor Heinike,
16-13 for the record. No, it was like 16-7. No, you're right. 16-7.
Yeah.
Looking at
16-7.
Yeah.
Taylor Heinike was having a super efficient game. He was at like 100%, no turnovers, no touchdowns, but also no turnovers, which is kind of more important than touchdowns. And yeah, we controlled the ball. We were pretty much literally in total control of the entire game in the first half. We were stopping them on third down. We were, stopping the run that they killed us on the 2 weeks before that. We were letting some pass plays get off, but it's natural. But for the most part, we held the first half in control. Went into halftime 16-7. That's a 2-score game.
Felt
we're at
good.
home. Yeah, felt good. We're at home. And then we had to come out of the locker room, unfortunately, because
unfortunately it is a 60-minute game, and not a 30-minute game.
Yeah.
Yeah, home. It was
I
in our stadium. It's not a home.
It was at FedEx Field.
FedEx Field for sure.
We would love to give that stadium to Philadelphia, especially after the railing debacle at the end of the game. That first half was everything was going right. They were running the ball well. Taylor Heinike was managing the game very well. The play calling looked good on both the offense and the defense. This honestly looked like the Washington team that they had during that 4-game win streak.
A little bit, yeah. Terry McLaurin was getting the ball in the first half. So we were moving, like you said, we were running the ball well without Antonio Gibson and J.D. McKissick. The 3 backs that we had stepped up pretty well. So yeah, first half was literally ours. But
who impressed you the most in that first half?
Yeah, I'd have to say Jarrett Patterson. Jarrett Patterson, he was running really well. He was running with a purpose. He was finding creases that aren't necessarily there. That I'm not saying I don't like Antonio Gibson, but Gibson is not finding creases like that and bursting through them like Jarrett Patterson did.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm not saying he's better than Gibson. I'm just saying that's not something that he does.
Consistent.
So he did some things. Yeah, he did some things in the first half that were very impressive, and it was good to see that he finally got a chance to be the bell cow, to be the guy who's running every play, and he showed up. He did really well. I was pretty impressed with Patterson.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm just being honest because I'm a football fan, and whatever. Taylor Heinike, man, he impressed me in the first half. He was almost 100% until I guess late in the first half. No turnovers, like I said. He was putting the zip on the ball. He was finding receivers. Cam Sims got some love. Terry McLaurin got some love. I think Humphreys got some love. Dax Milne got a target here or there. So, he was reading the defense, taking what they were giving us. He had a couple lollipop throws that were kind of iffy, but they resulted in lucky catches.
There's definitely a few desperation throws, not
for
just
sure.
in the
So
first
what
half as well.
happened?
The second half came.
What happened in the second half?
And Washington did not hold up their end of the bargain. Now, this was interesting. You mentioned Jarrett Patterson as one of the highlights of the first half. And the second half, and this is where that play calling comes into play, didn't really see that commitment to the run that you were seeing in that first half. Jarrett Patterson finished with 12 carries, 57 yards for a 4.8 average. That's pretty good for a undrafted free agent. Obviously, the opening touchdown, we all thought we were going to lose $1 on that bet against EP. So they stop doing that. They start getting a little fancy. Trev's favorite play comes up.
Oh my God, bro!
I really wish that we had a clip of this because this is just
was it the fake wide receiver?
It was the fake handoff, the fake to the reverse, and then we're gonna dump it off a screen dump to the guy who we fake handed off to. Which, by the way, if we would have just handed it off to the wide receiver, you probably would have gotten positive yardage. But instead, you turn around and you give it to the guy. The entire defense was surrounding.
Yeah, literally. And the run right before that, because I'll get back to that, they did another one where you run a fake handoff or a screen to the tight end, John Bates, who runs a 10-7 40. Okay, he's got good hands. He can block. He's big, but the man is slow.
He's the man you want shoveling your snow here this winter, but not necessarily the guy you want. He's not being hired by Jimmy John's to get your delivery to you freaky fast.
Because they lose a lot of money on refunds.
Yeah, no joke. But that one fake wide receiver screen, fake handoff to the running back, throw a screen or whatever to the running back. When you're down by one score with less than 3 minutes, it's first down. You're in their territory right across the 50. Why are you running that play? You're not winning. You're trying to get field position to win. You're not trying to milk the clock and be fancy and stuff. That was the dumbest play call I think ever. I'm not saying the whole game was on that play call, but it came at a really crucial time.
Yeah.
He called it at the wrong time.
It's not the only one, the play call that I really hated, right? So there was the other one. They go for it on 4th and 4.
Mm-hmm.
They end up, Heinike throws this pass to Humphreys.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't a good pass. And Humphreys wasn't even at the line. He was like, if he would have caught the ball, it would have been for 2 yards.
Yep.
Right.
Maybe 3. And you just can't do that on a fourth down where you're trying to move the ball. This was when Washington was behind and they needed to, put points on the board. Thankfully, the defense again stepped up and got Washington a chance to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you really did want to see Washington, come out and win this thing. But unfortunately, that was not the case.
What's up, Stoner?
I was just gonna say, I thought they were gonna win the game.
I did too.
I had every confidence that they were gonna go down there and win the game. That last play, that interception, which broke our hearts, right? That last play, I didn't think it was a bad throw, as originally a lot of people said it was.
It was not a great
way
throw.
over his head.
I don't know what you were talking about.
It was right there. It was right there. If he hadn't fallen down, it would have been right. It would have been right here.
Even Taylor said that after the game.
He said it was his best throw, best 9 or whatever. The guy is
his
smoking
best 9 route throw all year.
It was
It
was not a great throw.
I think it would have been a great throw.
It was a touchdown if he doesn't trip over his own feet.
There's no way of knowing for sure. But the problem is I didn't think he needed to force it.
Justin Jefferson out there.
I didn't think he needed to force it at that time. Right?
No,
it wasn't the time to force it.
You called it.
30 seconds.
I called it. I called it right in the game. Yep. I said they're going for the end zone right here.
They didn't need to do that.
And he didn't need to. He had plenty of time. It's not like the clock was moving when they snapped it. It was just coming off of a timeout. So even if he throws one short, they still have plenty of time to get up and spike it or do whatever, run a couple more plays. So that was forced. That was a guy who thinks of himself a little bit more than what he actually is and thought he could put it in there and it came back to bite him in the butt.
Al-
He forced it a little bit.
Also,
Although, like I said, if Bates doesn't trip, I think he catches it. Or at least it hits his hands and it doesn't get intercepted.
Tips.
Yeah,
By the
sure,
way,
yeah.
to be fair on all of this, like I don't think it was a great throw. I, however, do think that it was a great interception by McLeod.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
He had to die for that to get there. I'm not. I got to give props where props are due, Trev.
No, you don't. Joe will be on here in a minute. He ain't
He'll
on
be
here
on
now, but we ain't got to do
what I'm
nothing
saying
for the
is at the very minimum, like that took a fantastic defensive effort to end the game.
Doing? What Christmas is over. We don't have to be nice anymore. But even what makes it even worse about interception, he's from the DMV, so he gets the game-sealing interception in his hometown.
I mean,
there we go. We'll add that icing to your cake that you're making.
It was awful. I really hated it. In fact, I really want to share with in case he didn't watch the live stream. It is worth it to go there.
This is real.
And watch it. But in case he haven't, here is our reaction to the gaming ending interception. Lets this loose to Bates, and that ball is intercepted.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
I can't watch this again.
I legit just froze. By the way, I just it stunned disbelief, but belief that this is what we just witnessed. Yeah. It happened. I just kept staring at the TV like this is it, waiting for the confirmation that like the most like you'd figure after years of watching, like we were driving, right? You thought like this was it, like Heinike can do this. We were into it. We were on the edge of our seats. We were very excited. And that interception happened, and it barely. We didn't flip tables. We didn't scream. We didn't curse. I literally just froze.
Yeah.
Stoner's head goes down
and Trev
walked away.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that's Washington football team season in a nutshell. Now the playoffs, obviously they have one more game left, but the playoffs are out of the question. And that win enabled Philadelphia really to get to the playoffs because they just needed the Vikings to lose, which they did. I mean, they were playing Green Bay without Kirk Cousins. So that was a foregone conclusion, essentially. So you couldn't spoil your division rival, and your own chances have gone down the toilet. And our reaction was just, of course, this happened.
It's hard to talk about this game without making a referendum on the entire season, which we're going to have plenty of time to do that after the next game and the weeks following and leading up to the draft and watching all these good teams with great quarterbacks play in the playoffs while we sit at home again. But it is hard to look at that and say, you know, does Scott Turner got to go? Is Ron Rivera have this ship righted in the right direction? You know, is Antonio Gibson your back of the future? Is, you know what I mean? It's hard to watch that because everything was right there in front of them and they couldn't get the job done against say what you want about Philadelphia. They're not a great team. You should have beat them. You had everything to beat them. So why can't they beat them? Why can't they score more than 17 freaking points in a game for the last 5 or 6 games in a row? And you just want to you want to say you blow it all up and you want to talk all about that, which we'll do in the next couple weeks. But man, it was just really depressing when that happened, when that interception happened. Because like I said, I thought they were going to score and win the game. I really did. There's times where they're driving and I don't think that. And there was like the one Atlanta game where I didn't think that they were going to come back.
Another great reaction.
And they did. Right? And they did. And then there are other games where you're like, I know they're not going to score here, and they don't. In the Dallas game, right? The first Dallas game.
Yeah,
where they're making
miraculously we're in that game.
Yeah, and you're just like, it's not going to happen. But in this game, I thought it was going to happen, and it didn't, and it crushed me. And it should.
The Denver game was another one where it's just like they get the ball back, but you know they're not going to score on Halloween. Exactly. Chase Young makes an amazing play, gets that ball back, and you had no faith. But this one, Like I said, we really thought that they had the chance. The first half, they did it.
Yeah.
The first half, they moved the ball. That drive, they were moving the ball. Now they were at the 20. They were in the red zone. They easily just needed to inch closer. Heineke goes for it all on that one pass. It gets intercepted, and the game's over.
But can we talk about this? We are horrible at goal line defense. They scored 2 touchdowns on 4th and goal. Other than that, they really didn't do much. I mean, they got down there, of course, obviously to get to 4th and goal, but
I hesitate to say that they're horrible because both times they had a score on the 4th play.
I know, but you know what I'm saying? I mean,
it's really difficult.
Yeah, in this
really
game. That's what I'm talking about.
It's difficult for a team. A goal line stand is impressive because it is very difficult to stop an offense at the 2-yard line 4 plays in a row.
Too nice today, Stoner.
4 plays in a row. It's very difficult to do that. They did it 3 plays and then they failed the 4th time, but they did it twice. Now that's the part I'm going to give you. That's the part I'm going to give you. They did that twice. They couldn't do it once. But I'm saying that's not horrible. It's not great.
It's horrible for the game yesterday.
Absolutely, but there was plenty of other moments where the defense could have cost them the game. But I'm not going to pin this on the defense that held them to 20 points.
They only scored 27 last time, so it's not that big of a deal.
They also ran up 500 yards.
So we'll give them credit for that. But our passing defense was horrible. Dallas Goedert was wide open on every single target he had. He didn't have to fight for any catch.
You also are putting Mayo,
and Cam Curl.
Cam Curl was on there a couple times.
Too small. He's too small. So everybody, I was a part of this too. I was a part of the crowd that was hyped that Cam Curl's going to come back and be able to cover tight ends. But we keep forgetting he's small, and a lot of tight ends.
They only gave up 212 passing yards. So I mean, it's not exactly
how many passing yards did Goddard have, or receiving yards did Goddard have?
71. I mean, out of those 212, 71 went to Dallas Goedert. I'm not saying Dallas Goedert didn't absolutely own Mayo and Curl and a lot of the
entire pass coverage was bad.
Oh, it was awful. It wasn't as awful as it was against Dallas.
Right.
They dropped 50 and you're watching everybody bounce off receivers. It just wasn't. It wasn't great.
Well, I think it was more. I think it was also more the timeliness of them. The 3rd and 9 play.
Yeah, they were all 3rd and longs.
The 3rd and 14 play.
Yes, that was a huge one.
On a YOLO ball. No less. It was a YOLO ball. It looked like a Taylor Heineke thrown ball. But they made the play. They made the plays, and in the end, they deserved to win because they made more plays when they needed to.
Yeah, 4th down efficiency, they were 3 for 4. Yeah. 4th down efficiency, that was abysmal for Philadelphia. Philadelphia is 4 for 12, which isn't great.
You mean
third down? Yeah, third down.
Third down
was 4 for 12. Down. 4th down, they were 3 for 4.
Yeah.
Washington 0 for 1 on 4th down, and they were 9 for 15. So way more efficient on 3rd down there. The biggest telltale on the pass defense side of the house was only 1 sack the entire game against Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they only got 1 sack.
We're slow.
I mean, essentially, though, again, Washington played a pretty good game, especially considered all the guys you had out. You had 12 starters out. 12 starters out. Okay. Yeah. So essentially,
you are playing a guy named Corn Elder.
Right. You're playing Corn Elder and David Mayo and John Toth and guys you've never heard of. Rotimi's getting big minutes, and we're going to talk about the whole Jamin Davis thing after we talk to Joe Castro here. But they had the chance to win with all of these backups basically playing. You're playing a junior varsity team, essentially, and they had a chance to win. They didn't play terrible, but they didn't have the guys on the field to make the plays, both offensively and defensively, to win the game. And that's pretty much kind of wraps up the entire game. You're right there, 20-16 to a team that's going to the playoffs. So you can't hate it. That's not a moral victory, but you can't hate it either. You can't just say they were terrible. It wasn't the Dallas
I hate
the
it.
week before. I
hate it. It's the same outcome.
Yeah, You don't love a win. You don't love a loss.
Yeah. And I hope this week that when Philly and Dallas play, that's
going to be the most boring game.
I'm saying this in jest, so I don't want to get all this hate on Twitter and everything. I hope a dirty bomb falls in there and they don't even get to play the game. Right? Because I hate both teams so much. But of course,
let this be the first forfeited game of
let it be a forfeit by both teams.
There we go.
Yeah, and they both get an L for it. I don't know. I'm just saying. And it doesn't mean anything, and that kind of makes me mad. So all these guys can go on these injured lists for a week or whatever. Not injured list, but whatever it is, so that they don't have to play, and they can bring up their junior varsity team. Whatever. I want to talk to Joe Castro about yesterday's game.
Yeah, we are, in fact, going to do that. Right now, we're going to bring up Joe Castro of Philly to the podcast right here on Ref the District. Everybody give this man a round of applause.
Yo!
Appreciate y'all. What's going on, boys?
All right, Joe, we're going to make you the big screen like we do with our guests here to make sure that you are front and center here on Ref the District.
I like this. As it should be. Philly should be front and center, right? A playoff team in the building.
All right, Joe. It was nice having you on the cast, and that's what we'll see from Joe today.
Hey, let me ask you this. Let me see if you can dispute this. Are the Philadelphia Eagles of 2021, are they the Washington football team from 2020? Are they just getting by on beating bad teams and in a weak conference, not necessarily division, but a weak NFC, and just slipping into the playoffs and are going to get waxed in the first round?
I won't say that we're the Washington football team, but I think that last year, and this is being honest, I think last year, not only did you guys beat bad teams, but everyone was bad in the NFC East. So, I mean, it helped you there as well. So I will give you this. We are getting by. Obviously, the last, I want to say 7 or 8 games, we haven't really played a quarterback, that's had more than maybe a year of actual snaps. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, we're world beaters and we're going to go into the playoff, run looking crazy. I will say that we're healthier than I feel like you guys were last year, even when you went into the playoffs. I could be wrong about that. I'm not sure about your exact injuries, but I feel like we're a healthier team than even we're used to going into the playoffs. So, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're a world beater and we're going to be surprising a bunch of teams, but I think that we go into the playoffs in a good position. So I don't say we're the Washington football team because I don't think that your playoff bid and you guys, tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think your playoff bid meant as much for as for y'all as it does for us. We have a guy named Jalen Hurts. Obviously, I don't think you guys had a guy that you were realistically looking at, like, can he be the future? So, us
no one knew who Taylor Heinike was before.
Exactly. So us getting to the playoffs says more about the future of this team than I think your playoff bid did. So that's kind of where I see the differences. I do understand the similarities, but I do think that that's the major difference right there.
Joe,
and you understand also that we're rooting hard against whoever you play in the playoffs. I mean, it's just
unless it's Dallas. Unless it's
you're
Dallas.
You mean against? You're rooting for?
I'm
rooting for whoever is.
Okay, because I can send you some merch. I can send you some merch.
Okay, well in that case, I'll take the merch and then I'll retract my.
Unless you face Dallas, then in which case go Philly.
Hey, I like that. I'll take that.
So, the beginning of the year expectations, did you guys exceed those right now by the playoff bid, or did you think you guys are going to be this 8-9 win team scraping to get in the playoffs?
For me, I could really only. There's been such scattered expectations as like along the whole Eagles fan base. I think if you look at, I'll give it to you like this. I think like the NFL wise, the world expectation, the viewing public's expectation that weren't in Philly, I think we by far exceeded those expectations. We had some, media outlets saying 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins. So, in that retrospect, I think that we definitely, exceeded those expectations. For me, realistically, again, we have a very young team, a rookie head coach, rookie whole staff, if you really look at it. So I was in the mindset of 6 to 9 wins like the whole year. So you could say maybe especially if we win against Dallas, we'll have 10 wins. So I guess number wise, it exceeded my expectations, but it kind of went the way I thought it would. I felt like the early going was going to be really tough. We had a lot of good teams that we were playing, a lot of good quarterbacks, and they took advantage of us. But you look at the end of that schedule as we, are closing it out. Again, we even got luckier with some of these COVID happenings. I don't want to say lucky, but some of the COVID happenings, some of the quarterbacks that got injured, we didn't have to face. So we got lucky along the way, but I did see this tail end of the schedule being a lot easier. So if you break it down from like a then to now, I'm excited about the growth, but I also I think we're still the same team we were in the beginning. We're just kind of learning a little bit more about our team, if that makes sense. So
right at the right time too.
A great team. I don't think we're a great team. It's just everything is working for us, and kudos to us for taking advantage of it. There's a lot of teams, that don't take advantage of it. So there's reason to be excited. There's reason to be a little pessimistic, as well. And I'm sure you guys will lean towards the latter on this show, but I try to stay in the middle. I try to stay in the middle. So I think that there's, like I said,
this hurts so bad.
But at the same time, I don't think it's a Super Bowl run team, but it was fun. It's fun while it's
going
on.
You heard it here first. Philly, the podcast just said not a Super Bowl run team.
He's not a believer.
Don't even watch.
They call me a hater on my show, anyways, Trav. So this is nothing new. This is.
Well, I guarantee the last run that you actually did make it to and win the Super Bowl, that at the beginning you weren't saying this is a Super Bowl team with Nick Foles playing quarterback. I don't think you guys were saying totally that different. Either. Oh, did it?
That defense was ridiculous. I will say you're already in the moment. Like my mind side of it probably didn't, really, really believe it, but you're already in the moment. It was, let's just go. There's no way we're gonna lose. So, I won't say that I thought we were gonna win the Super Bowl, but I still had faith. I still had a lot of faith in that team.
Well, let's get back to yesterday's game. The season kind of went one way for you. This game yesterday was a tale of two halves. In that first half, what were you thinking as a Philadelphia fan? Because the last time Philadelphia played Washington, you guys ran all over this defense. So, but that didn't really happen in that first half. So, what was going through your mind in the first half of yesterday?
Here we go again, Jalen. Here we go. Now, I was a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. That first half kind of scared me, especially you guys getting out to that 10-0 lead. Our defense looked like they couldn't get anything. That was really probably what was going through my mind, was like, here comes the terrible defense again. And I think, don't quote me on this, but I think that there was like maybe 4 or 5 different times that we actually sent more than our 4-man pressure. Like, we stood back on you guys a lot, and which was mind-blowing to me, in my opinion, just because it worked out. Don't get me wrong. Our defensive line, they did all right. I'm proud of their effort out there, especially in the run game in the second half mostly. But you have a guy back there in Taylor Heinike that's still very, fresh, still very green. This is the type of quarterback I think you just send blitzes at, make him make decisions quick. And although our defensive line was getting there, they were pressuring him. I just felt like this was the type of game that you go send blitzes. So I was getting worried. I was just like, are we going to play this soft defense and just let them, nitpick their way down the field? But at the same time, I saw the offense being able to move it, obviously missing that fourth down conversion, not able to score points on that drive. It hurts. It gets a little bit worrisome. Then you get the 3 points. Then you start seeing the offense rolling. The thing with my offense is, like, they're so up and down. So once you see them actually, kind of putting up points, and I said this to Trevor, which I want to bring it up now because it was such a weird, I was re-looking at the numbers, and this is probably the first win that we have that our run game didn't have to dominate. We did have 120 yards. Don't get me wrong. That's good. But we didn't have to have, 30, 40 rushes, and we were still able to win. So, I was very, very worried, especially early on, but it kind of, especially once the second half came, you started seeing, okay, at least we're moving on offense. The defense just got to kind of figure it out. And though the score doesn't really, show it, I do feel like it was a blowout once we started going. I don't think it was really a back and forth after that. So That's how I feel.
We didn't score the second half.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's like once we started going, it was over.
There, so
yeah.
All right, Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot. All right.
Hey.
I am Jeffrey Lurie. I am the owner.
I knew it.
I just fired Howie Roseman, and I am.
Thank God. Thank you.
Yeah. I know everybody wants that.
You really get merch now.
I've just promoted you to general manager. All right. And it's the off season. You got blown out by the Rams 52-3 in the playoffs game.
At least we got 3.
You can only dream.
At least we got 3.
Yeah, I gave you that.
You got to make a decision right now. Are you signing Jalen Hurts to a long-term contract, or are you drafting or picking up another quarterback? Joe Castro.
Is there a C option there? I mean, I don't think we're in a position right now that we. I'll say this: if I have to make the decision between those two right now, if it came down to right now and I had to put my money into Jalen Hurts, I would have to see that contract. I'll say that. But I'll say flat out no. To answer the question, blatantly, I don't think he's showing you enough to say he's a franchise guy. Go give him $40 million a year. I don't believe that. If it's like 4 years for $10 million a year or something like that, we might talk. Because I do think that he's a very, very good backup with very high plus side. Now, I'll even go a little bit deeper on that. I'll say that if you tell me you have Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers for the next 2 or 3 years and you get to keep, and I said this to Trevor, and you get to keep a Jalen Hurts, I would probably be cool with that too. I would say that that's an okay option as well. I think that Jalen Hurts being 23 is obviously a big benefit to not only him, but to this franchise. It doesn't really make you speed up the process. You can obviously just play through these younger years, but you don't really have to. He was drafted in the second round. Might look weird to fans, but once you start winning, fans shut up. It is what it is. So, I think that that's the best decision moving forward, especially for a Jalen Hurts, who's obviously not there yet, right? But if what I would do to get away from the question is this draft, I'm not really looking at quarterbacks. I'm solidifying this team. You still have Jalen Hurts under contract. Make this team better. Once you get your team to insert here at quarterback, I think that it's very hard to lose in this league. I think we have a good head coach. The rest of it we'll figure out. But I think that you build around this team, build around this quarterback for now. And if something, arises this offseason that you can, that makes sense. I don't want us to jump off the ledge either way. I don't want to jump off the ledge and go ahead and sign Jalen Hurts to a 10-year extension. I know I'm, exaggerating, and I don't want to give up on Jalen and go get, a Russell Wilson who, quite frankly, isn't making it work with a DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and et cetera, and a Pete Carroll at coach. So do I really feel comfortable with him, a second-year head coach, giving him a second-year Devontae Smith, and then really nothing else outside of Dallas Goedert? So, I mean, I don't know. So I know that's a long-winded answer, but I just don't want to jump off the roof either way, really, right now.
Yeah.
So you mentioned rookie head coach. You guys are in the playoffs. There's really nothing else to talk about the game yesterday. You guys won. We suck. We're past that. So now it's starting to get in the thick of things. You're starting to play the top teams in the conference. The Tampa Bays, the Rams. That's for us. The Tampa Bays, the Green Bays, the Rams. Whoever else the 4th seed is. Do you see Nick Sirianni switching up his game plan to go against these better defenses? Because like you said, the run game has been your MO the past 7-8 games. Or do you think you're just gonna keep going with the rushing attack?
That's an interesting question. Honestly, I asked that question too, because what is more important? Is winning the game more important? I know on the surface level you probably say yes, or is finding out what Jalen Hurts can do with his arm in a playoff game more important? So that'll be an interesting question to have answered. If I'm him, I want to win, so I'm not changing the game. I'm running it down your throat 45 times, and if you stop us, God bless. I mean, if we try to throw it 40 times, it's not going to work, and it's not even a slight to Jalen Hurts. That, like you said, the competition is getting better. He's just not there yet as a full-time passer, in my opinion. And his +1 is his goal right now. It's his goal. Him being able to run an offense that is based off the run is his, a special attribute right now. We have to go with that. So I don't say change the game plan at all. I say go full steam ahead, run down everybody's throat. If they stop you, they stop you. We go into the offseason. We're in +1 territory right now. As a team, I feel like this is all extra. We're playing with house money, whatever analogy you want to use. So we're not supposed to be here. So do what got you here. That's my mindset.
Okay.
Well, as you look forward to the playoffs, obviously one more game to go, but you've already clinched the playoffs there. Which
good.
team would you like to face that first wild card game?
I want Dallas. I want
Dallas.
I want Dallas.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Just like I said, we're playing with house money right now, and trust me, maybe some Eagles fans agree with me, but nobody on my channel, at least, everybody tells me I'm crazy. Everybody's talking about matchups. We match up better with that. And this is going to hurt to say, and it's probably going to hurt to hear if there's any Eagles fans watching this, back or now. We're not matching up good with any of these teams. We are the 7th seed. We are the extra team that last year wouldn't have made it. So, let's be realistic about that. We're not a team that we can say, well, if you look at this and if we can match up with, I'm not trying to go against Jalen Ramsey. I'm not trying to go against Matt Stafford. I'm not trying to go against Tom Brady. We're probably going to be, not probably, we're going to be most likely a 5 to 6 point underdog in any game that we go into, realistically, and we're going to be away. So give me Dallas. If my season's going to end, it's going to end fighting. It's going to end, scraping, and like you guys said earlier before I came on the show, this next week game ain't gonna mean nothing. So give me my second division game. Even if we lose, I'm cool with that. I am cool with that. I'd rather lose to them than have to watch them go on and beat all these other teams and wonder, well, what if they were our first, game? What we could have probably beat them that first week. That would kill me more than losing to them.
And playing in Jerry's world doesn't seem to be a problem for away teams. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's a hard place to win at all.
Cavernous.
Yeah,
it's too big.
I will say LA will probably be a home game. If we do play the Rams, it'll be a home game. There's so many Eagles fans in LA.
Wow.
Every time we go out there, it's a legitimate home game.
We're not the only ones. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Makes it feel a lot
you guys
better.
can't even keep
much rather have their stadium than FedEx Field. I didn't see Allegiant Field falling apart. Thank goodness Jalen Hurts wasn't hurt.
That was crazy. That was wild.
Well, Joe, we want to thank you for coming on the cast. We know that you've got to get to your own show, Philly the podcast. Where can our listeners find you?
You could find me on Twitter, Trolling Trev. You can follow me, Philly the podcast. We're on YouTube, Newsbreak, all the audio podcasts. You can just Google our name, you'll find us. We do a lot of great stuff, a lot of great interviews with players, coaches, whatever you think of, we have them on. I appreciate you guys having me on, to be honest. I love you guys' show. Obviously, me and Trevor, I've talked before, worked before. So it's an honor. I appreciate the invite.
Yeah, Joe,
we appreciate it.
Sure.
I won't say best of luck to Philadelphia for obvious reasons, but we appreciate you coming on, and best of luck with your programming, and go whoever the Eagles are playing, unless it's Dallas. If you guys play Dallas, I will wear green just for you.
I'll send you merch. If Dallas is the first team's week, I'm merching all y'all out.
Sounds good. All right, Joe, have a good one. Catch him out. Philly, the podcast there with Joe Castro. We appreciate him coming on here on Day After Reckoning here on Ref the District. We also appreciate John, who is agreeing with Stoner. This came on earlier when it was the dirty bomb situation. He agrees. Let that game end in a tie. We'll shout out to Gustav as well.
What up, Gustav? What up, Gustav?
Dude, I love Gustav Biaggi.
Why you guys have a show like that? You guys,
because he's a person too.
Bots are people too.
Bots are people too.
You guys have seen iRobot. I told y'all this already.
Bots are people too.
Oh man.
So
Joe was a great guest. That was good. It's interesting. Here, hold on. I'm going to hit the rewind. That man said that he wants Dallas in the playoffs. I love that.
Yep. We want Dallas.
Yeah, I can. What's the right word? I can understand where he's coming from. I'd rather play Dallas in a playoff game than say the Rams or the Bucks or whatever, right? I get it. So yeah.
What's the right word?
Understand.
I understand.
I was trying to say. I was wanting to use like an adult word.
He wanted
Nathan word.
He wanted a 10
Yeah, I
word.
want to use like a Nathan word. You know, like, it's
Like-
4th and 12th from the 52nd yard line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you guys. Hey, Trev brought it up.
Yeah, and then like you just dump off a swing pass to Byron Scott for the first down. So
That's right.
it's cool.
Man, the
Hey,
amount of times I messed up that man's name.
Terry Bradshaw
Terry Bradshaw said Byron
oh,
Scott
yeah.
too. That's
Nobody
funny.
even corrected him. He was like,
Hey,
dump off to
Nathan.
Byron Scott.
Hey, if you're in the same announcing league as Terry Bradshaw,
You're doing something right.
Hey,
You are.
let
You
me get his
are
money.
Our
Let me
Terry
get
Bradshaw.
his money.
you
are
are
Let
Terry
me
Bradshaw.
get his money. All right, let's go back to the game. There were some good things to be said about the game, so let's talk go-goes and no-goes.
Okay.
All right, I got it. I got a go-go.
All right, what's your go-go?
Ryan Winslow
Sure.
as a placeholder.
Yeah, he's
Not as a
fantastic
punter.
placeholder.
I'm done. I'm done
got
with this
taken out.
mess.
He got
I'm
taken
done
out.
with this.
Sorry, Trev.
This bit
I'm
that you guys
I'm
got
with you,
going
Trev.
on.
Yeah.
I'm done with this bit. You guys are doing with this anti-Tressway hate. We can't have this Tressway hate
It
on
ain't
this
Tressway
podcast.
hate. It's not Tressway as a punter hate.
Yeah. It's Tressway as a
holder.
placeholder. Just
Yeah,
saying.
He seems to be having trouble there. So
Joey Sly's kicks were beautiful all day yesterday. I'm just saying that's really something like no joke.
Joey Sly is going to be the kicker for
all
the
jokes
Washington
aside,
football team next season.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, Tressway could be the reason. Seriously, could have been the reason why D-Hop was missing all those kicks all his careers with us, and then Nathan, I know you're giving me the look, but I'm being dead serious. I mean, I'm serious.
I see how it can be a hot take, but I'm kind of with Trev on this because there's one common denominator with all of these bad kicking.
Seriously,
and it's not
Nathan.
the kicker and it's not the snapper. It's the holder.
It's got to be the holder.
You've had one game to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, it's got to be him. He's the holder." No,
okay, think about it. Dustin Hopkins missed a lot of kicks his career here. He went.
It's Dustin Hopkins.
His first year with his first season with the Chargers, he only missed 2.
And he's had good seasons in Washington.
All right. So you got Blewett.
He was 14 for 15 down the stretch last year, right?
You got Blewett.
Chris Blewett was always
Chris Blewett should not ever kick in the NFL again.
Brian Johnson was kicking
Thank you, Dorothy, for joining us as well.
Hey, at least he's got a regular name.
Let's
what up, dog? What up, Dorothy? Seriously, that's my go-go. Ryan Winslow as a placeholder, and I don't hear
specifically as a placeholder. All right, who's your go-go? His punting was awful. His punting was it made me miss Tressway so bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
There was one punt. He punted from the 20. I think he barely made it to the 40 of the opponents, and then it was returned 10 yards. So it was just like it was great. We had a 30-yard punt. I was like, "This is perfect."
That was bad.
Did he get it out to like the 52nd yard line?
It was it was something like that. Maybe the 53rd.
It was 4th and 5th. I know that.
I guess that one actually didn't go over very well, did it? All right, so along the same lines, maybe I'm stealing this, whatever. I mean, Joey Sly did exactly what you needed him to do. He kicked 3 field goals, and an extra point, and a 55-yarder was big. So Joey Sly was great, and he kicked all of his kickoffs out of the end zone. I think maybe it was one return.
I think there was one return. But for the most part, Joey's got a leg.
I think you're right.
He's accurate. He's going to be the kicker next year.
I think you're probably right.
If they bring in competition, I'd be surprised, seeing as they didn't bring in competition for Dustin Hopkins, and he was legit bad. So but
maybe
I think
maybe it was a placeholder.
Yeah, but he is a free agent, so maybe somebody signs him.
Who's a free agent? Joey Sly.
Sly.
Yeah, we're keeping him. We're keeping him.
They'll probably keep him. kick.
You could go somewhere.
You usually sign a kicker that you're familiar with, and kickers usually stay with teams that are familiar with them. I think Joey will be with the team next year. I'm going to go with one of our rookies. I've given John Bates a lot of love recently, so I'm going to go with Jarrett Patterson as my go-go.
You have to. Yeah.
Who he actually had a really good game, both as a runner, out there as a pass catcher, and the pass blocking, I think, is still something that it's not that he struggles with per se it's mainly the guy's like 5'6", and he just gets trucked over. But he has heart, and so that part works really well there. He at least puts himself in front of the attackers, but no, he was doing a really good job finding those holes. Again, 12 carries for what did I say, 60 yards or something like that? 57
and a touchdown.
Yeah, and so
a really nice touchdown too.
I think if they would have kept running him, I think this was a game where they just gave him another 12 carries. Washington probably runs away with this. But they didn't. So they ended up losing. So let's go ahead and go with the no-goes as I shout out Big Moves, who was at the game yesterday. We'll have to get his opinion. Hopefully you weren't one of the ones hanging on that barrier there. That would it'd be very unfortunate.
No, because they were all
two
Eagles
reasons.
Fans.
Yeah, I was about to say for two reasons. One, it would mean that you're an Eagles fan, and then two, just because it did look painful. All right, no-goes.
No-goes. My hot fire take for a no-go is Ron Rivera, the general manager, for drafting Jamin Davis with his first-round pick. Because, obviously, I don't even have to explain how bad it was. David Mayo is playing over him on defense, and David Mayo's running all over the field trying to stay with guys.
Yeah, the reason given is because they wanted more of a middle linebacker to pair with Cole Holcomb, and apparently Jamin Davis is not that guy.
Well, that's where they've been.
He's never been that guy.
Right? That's where they
that just goes to show you that he's never
They wanted him to be the middle linebacker. They did.
So,
he's apparently not been doing well.
So, like I said, that's on Ron Rivera, the general manager, because all I heard in training camp, and maybe even I heard it on this show right here, was that Jamin Davis was going to be defensive rookie of the year, and he has been far from that. So I put that on Ron Rivera, the general manager. He's my no-go for that game simply because of Jamin Davis. Hot take, it's hot in here. Ooh.
Oh wow, damn.
Well, let me give out a shout out to JC Eagles Talk. He liked Patterson. Plays like Byron Scott, though, right? Byron Scott, Boston Scott.
Yeah,
shout out JC Eagles Talk. So we appreciate you coming on before.
Jane, that's a good no-go, Stoner.
Yeah, that was a darn good one. All right, let's hear your no-go, Trev.
You had 2 days to think about this.
I'm gonna go if you're gonna go with some staff, I'm gonna go with some staff too. I'm gonna say the offensive line / strength and conditioning coaches. I know offensive linemen, they're in the trenches and they're the most likely to get hurt the most, but I mean, our guys just cannot stay healthy on the offensive line. Something's got to change because our offensive line, when they're healthy, is not bad. They showed that this year during that 4-game win streak. I mean, even when we were losing, they were protecting the quarterback, and Gibby was still getting his rushing yards. So, like, when we're healthy, we're good. It's not like we're drafting practice squad players, but at the same time, we just can't keep them healthy. And I don't know if it's them or if it's something internally, or
Well, trainer's in jail for crying out loud.
I know, so I don't know if that counts as a no-go, but we got to find somebody who can take care of the offense.
Ryan.
Yeah, that can take care of the offensive line.
Not yet. Shout out to the Hawk TV. Happy New Year to you as well.
I think that's fair, Trev.
You know what I mean? So. Somebody that can come here and just knows how to build a strong offensive line. How about that? Rather than just by name only. Are their ankles good? Are their legs good? Are they, I don't know.
Wasn't there in the off season there was those videos of Wes Martin, and he was doing all of those lifting.
Yeah, they're moving tractor trailers and picking up houses and countries and stuff.
Martin, they released him, so
and Schweitzer was one of them too. But my man Schweitzer in IR right now, so it's like I don't know, man. It's just something's got to give.
I'm going to take the worst player on the field for Washington yesterday, which was David Mayo.
Sure.
You can blame Ron Rivera for putting him in that position, but the fact of the matter is that he was put in that position.
Can't do it.
And he can't do it. And it was over and over again. You know, I think that he does a good job on special teams. And I think that for a spot fill and linebacker, it's fine. But over the course of the entire game, he was exposed time and time again, and it cost Washington.
He was on skates all game
because he's not to blame for the game, but it cost Washington on several plays.
Yeah,
and was one of the bigger factors in this game. The game's momentum switching over to the Eagles. So
he ain't getting on none of my sandwiches. That Mayo can't cover nothing.
You've been holding that one for a while.
I was like, Nathan, stop talking. I want to say this so bad.
he's got a show. JC Eeltalk gives a no-go to Dan Snyder and y'all stadium.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah,
here's
a no-go. FedEx Field is a damn no-go. Literally, don't go. No
has
go.
Been and always will be.
That one was bad.
It made it on
Big
Undisputed
moves
this morning, you guys.
Yeah, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. And the more I see it, the different angles from it, the more it just looks awful.
Look at this angle.
It looks
awful.
This
angle. I'm like, yeah.
You can look at all the angles, and you know what you end up seeing? Nobody.
Same thing.
Hurt. So,
yeah.
I mean, it was unfortunate.
Big Move says at least we didn't see Trap Key starting. So at least things.
Trev started. Yeah.
Trev loves himself some Trap Key.
He's staying with us again next year. I know what to tell y'all. So.
He probably is.
If you hadn't had the chance, you can catch out our Sunday show, which is All Bets Aside. We had some big winners this week.
We did.
It's also where our Dalla Dalla now resides. Our fan favorite Dalla Dalla. Let's go ahead, and it's time to pay up.
Oh, wait. Isn't this a brand new Dalla Dalla too?
This is a whole new board.
Oh, yeah. Y'all get ready for this.
Dalla Dalla.
All right.
I finished as season 1's champion.
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, who cares? New season.
New season, though. We'll see how this one goes. Let's hear some of these bets.
That was so 2021.
That was so 2021.
All right, you ready for the
big moves? It has been a hard season, by the way, and there's just not a whole lot of depth there. That is what he's putting.
And nobody in the NFL has great depth that they can overcome 12 starters out. You can call it an excuse, you can call it whatever, but it's a reason behind why you're not able to complete games when you have quarterback 2,
12 of 22 starters.
3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I mean, come on.
I'm gonna declare for the draft after this season. You guys.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna declare for the draft.
All right.
You play linebacker. You need to bulk up a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about it. I'm fast.
All right.
You're gonna lift a kid's Tonka truck.
You better leave me alone.
All right.
Gavin's Tonka truck.
Trev said our boy Joey Sly would make all his kicks.
And he did.
Stoner and Nathan went against him. So
Fools.
There's one for Trev. Trev said that Heineke would have 2 interceptions.
And he didn't.
And he was very specific. He said
one
would be tipped and one would be not. And I even offered him to smooth that so that it wouldn't be one tipped and one not. But no. Shout out one time Sade.
Ooh.
All right. Stoner and Nathan both went against that and won that one. Nathan said that Jonathan Williams would have 50+ total yards from scrimmage. Did he get one?
He almost was my no-go just for this reason, by the
way. Stoner was the only one who went against
for 4 yards. I forget how many catches, if any, he had.
If any.
Yeah. Awful outing for Jonathan.
We had...
Shout out Corey Lodi.
Hey, Corey Lodi, what's up? It's been a while, Corey.
Yeah.
Where you been? We had 2 Curtis Samuel bets that we said from the beginning, if he's not active, these bets don't count. So
yes,
that guy.
Not even go
I'll tell you this right now. That Ferrari, He's on the Auto Trader website right now. We don't have to accept offers, but he's on the Auto Trader website.
We'll see. You got to give him another year. We'll talk about that for sure at the end of the year. Okay. Let's see. So
2 catches, 7 yards, by the way, on Jonathan Williams.
Oh,
so he had a grand total of 11
you were close.
Scrimmage yards. So close.
You were 80% away. Let's see. EP said that Jarrett Patterson would have 2 touchdowns. Close. And, by the way, in the middle of the game, after he scored 1, she doubled down, basically said, if you guys take my bet now and you win, I will buy you all, what did you say, a jersey?
A shirt.
Choice?
It was before the game. She actually tried betting us that.
Well, so we need a shirt.
She said shirts. We all turned her down, but she said if he hits the 2, we need to buy her Patterson jersey. And if he doesn't hit the 2, she was buying us all Washington football team shirts from the team store. All of us, especially after that first one, were like, we're good. We're good. Because it looked like they were going to run Patterson all day long.
We should have known we were going to be fooled.
We did, however, bet it in the
Scott Turner was the offensive coordinator.
All 3 of us took that bet and won that bet. Nathan and Trev both said that Kyle Allen would play quarterback at some point during the game. He did not.
I didn't say that.
Stoner won that.
I didn't say that.
And both Stoner and Nathan said that Dallas Goedert would score a touchdown, and Trev said no. And
you even put in the daggone parlay.
I know, ruined our parlay before it even got a chance. By the way, no defensive touchdown either for Green Bay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
at least mine was a 400 bet. Yours was a 100.
Yeah, mine was 200.
No, yours wasn't. It was 160.
Yeah, it was 160.
Right. You're right.
Nice try. Nice
Stoner picked Philly to win 23-20. Nathan said 33-24 Philly. Trev said 27-21 Washington. Stoner was the closest on that, but that's not worth $1. And then we had some in-game bets. Trev went 3-1 in the in-game bets.
That's where he made
Ladies and gentlemen.
Right
Nathan
ladies and gentlemen.
0-2, and Stoner went 1-3 in the in-game bets. I did well.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So you did really well on the non in-game bets and just trashed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is right. You see for the second annual dollar bet presented to you by Ref the Damn District. Your boy Trev has a green dollar amount next to his name, and his name is the first out of all players in the dollar, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm behind EP on the list, who we are including in this dollar.
Oh, of course. What are you,
there is an error in there, unless you somehow went back and counted them all or something.
Am I actually at a -3?
No, you're at -4. Trev is at +3. Not
okay, 4. So I gave him an additional one.
Yeah, make sure.
See how they do me? They always just try to steal my thunder. They always just.
That's on him.
I had to go pretty far through our traffic there to get those. To get those numbers.
Y'all.
So,
well, you can always ask me. I write it
this
down.
Project, and all they do is just take from me. That's all they do.
Trevor is atop the board to start the
all
season.
Hyped up and excited. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. They get me excited.
It's been a while.
I'm trying to give this man his just dues, and he's trying to shush me. He's trying to shush me. Now,
don't be shushing.
If you want to see where Trevor makes his money, you got to come to All Bets Aside. That's going to be Sundays at 11.
He's got
11 a.m.
where we make the dollar bets. Now, Day After Reckoning has one more this season.
Yes,
and then it'll be going aside. But we will make sure our fans keep up with dollar. The bets will be made during All Bets Aside. We'll probably do the recap during All Bets Aside as well. So catch that again Sundays at 11 on our YouTube and Facebook accounts. We have a lot of fun with it. We also give you Lock of the Week, which we hit.
Yep.
We do an Upset of the Week, which we hit.
Yep.
And we did Game of the Week, which most of us hit.
I hit
a 3 on that.
I picked the cover. Yeah.
Yep.
I picked the right team to win. I just didn't get the points right.
Yeah.
So that was the.
It's okay.
That was the difference maker there. It was a very good week for us. on All Bets Aside. Was not a great week for Washington, unfortunately. They did lose 20-16. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they will be facing the Giants.
On to New York.
On to New York. I want them to win. These guys want them to win. It's all about winning, not about draft. You'll hear more about that game come Wednesday. You can catch that on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter channels as well, 7 p.m. on Wednesday, where we'll be live streaming. Catch us then. Stoner, was that a hand raise?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Don't
let's hear
forget,
it.
on Wednesday's show, our special guest is going to be Authentic from Authentic and the Beard podcast. They're fantastic. He's
Great
a big
team.
Giants.
Do check them out.
Yep, he's a big Giants fan. He's also got an Overreaction Monday show that he did earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, about the Giants and all. So we're going to get the inside scoop on whether or not Joe Judge is going to get fired immediately after the game, Daniel Jones situation, all that inside scoop. And then also, on our last day after Reckoning, next Monday, we're going to have our guest, EB from the Junkies, will be back. He was our guest after the first game of the year, day after Reckoning, and now he's going to be our guest after the last game of the year on Day After Reckoning.
Which is what? Monday. Which week, Stoner?
Week 18. What did I say?
There we go. He said 17 before. Sorry. So I just wanted to make sure he got the math right this time.
Yeah.
Ref the District is sponsored to you by Sky Bar in Lexington, Virginia. Make sure you stop by when they open up and catch our man Trevor. And of course, we're also sponsored by Pacers Running for every run. I've got you taken care of. And until next time,
what?
Be a fan.
We love Washington, and we some die-hard fans. Yeah, we are. You know we keep it on 10. 1, 2, 3, let's go. And they gifted. We are Ref the District. Podcast. Come on now and join us.